What's going on, fish keepers? George from South Florida African Cichlids here, and today's video is going to be on identifying the 3 most common species of sulfurhead. It's one of the most misidentified fish, and there's a lot of wrong information being spread, so stay tuned. In my opinion, the reason this fish is so often misidentified is most people see the yellow blaze on their head and they automatically think sulfurhead. Something that doesn't help as well is that whenever you see a Facebook post with one of these fish, there's always 3 or 4 different species showing up, people that aren't 100% sure. They're all beautiful fish, but I'm here to show you how to properly identify them. I'm going to be showing you various pictures and ways to identify these fish, as well as talk a little bit about the hybrids in the end. Let's get on with it, shall we? On the screen you're now seeing the Otopharynx Lithobates Zimbabwe rock, aka Z-rock. One of the easiest way to identify between the sulfurheads is actually the blaze. As you can see with this fish, the blaze is completely yellow from the front of the face, from their nose, all the way to the back tip of their fin, and their body is more slender compared to others. They have a good amount of blue on the body, and just by being more slender and that the blaze is completely yellow is how you could properly identify this fish. The next member of the sulfurhead family we're going to talk about is the Protomelas Spilonatus rocks. He's another part of the hap family, just like the Z-rock, and one of the more beautiful ones in my opinion. The best way to identify these fish is that the blaze goes from a yellow to a white on the dorsal fin. As you can see, the anal fin is also a nice orange coloring, and as you can see, they have that Protomelis barring, that horizontal line across their body as well. This one is the most misidentified one out of them all, because there are hybrids coming in from Asia that look just like this fish, but usually the blaze is a little off. Sometimes it'll be more yellow or more white, and some other things. But yeah, the best way to identify this fish is through the blaze changing from a yellow to a white, having the orange anal fin, and having the horizontal line across the body, which over time, when they get older, it will fade out. The last pure species, and probably the easiest to identify that I wanted to talk about, is the Aulonocara Maylandi, most often known as the sulfurhead peacock. This one's actually an Aulonocara, so it's not in the hat family, and it doesn't grow as big as the others. You can identify this fish mostly by its body shape. Haps have very distinct body shapes. Most of the peacocks tend to have the same body shape. So with this peacock, the blaze is pretty much a complete yellow, and when they are lit up, like you can see in the pictures, they get a really dark blue, and they have nice vertical stripes. But as you can see, it's very easy to misidentify these fish. If you're really looking for one of the sulfurheads in particular, I really recommend you do a lot of research, and the most important part is getting them from a reputable breeder. Some breeders that I personally suggest are Cichlid Lovers, Imperial Tropicals, and I haven't ordered from them, but I have heard good things about Southeast Cichlids, Wonder of Cichlids, and the Cichlid Shack. The last type of sulfurheads I wanted to touch on are the hybrids. I think this actual hybrid in the picture is from David's Fish Tanks. I'm going to leave a link to the description. As you can see, they are very nice. This one has a particularly yellow blaze. He has no white. But the hybrids really make it really hard to identify these fish, and there's a lot of hybrids coming in from Asia that people think that they're Mara rocks, but they're not. And if you're not an experienced fish keeper and you don't know your identification, it's very hard, and it's very common that people misidentify these fish. I recommend that you do your research again, before getting any of these fish, and make sure that what you're getting is actually what you want. Also guys, I know everyone wants to help people on Facebook, but this is the biggest problem out there. If you're not 110% sure on the species and somebody else is asking, just don't comment, you know what I mean? Or put, I think it might be this as a reference, but don't give them for sure. I see a lot of misidentification and misinformation going around on Facebook. It really bothers me, and I try to correct people whenever I can, but it is what it is. Some people will deny that their fish are hybrids, this and that, even though they don't know what the seller, what they bought them as. The seller didn't tell them exactly what species they were. So again, always buy your fish by scientific name. Don't just buy a common name fish. Make sure that you're getting what you paid for. I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and if it was, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I really appreciate all the support. And if you have any questions on identifying your fish, you know, shoot me an email. I'm gonna put a link to that in the description. Besides that, you could follow me on Instagram at SFA Cichlids. I post a lot of pictures on there with, and I always post, you know, the scientific name of the fish so you know exactly what it is. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.